So I guess I'm double champ in Swansea, and to win a Pro Series race is, I don't really know. I guess a bit of a dream come true, to be honest. That is absolutely insane. I went into the race with confidence, but also knowing that the field was very, very competitive. Thinking that, if I have a great day, I could maybe have a sniff at the podium, but it's going to be really bloody hard. To then take the win is, wow. Like, I can't necessarily find the words to describe the feeling, but straight off the bat, I just want to say thank you so, so much to everyone out there who was supporting, not only in person, but also on social media. The support that I've experienced after this result is actually incredible. Like it's insane. It actually makes me quite emotional. Like the amount of people that have messaged me saying, "Yeah, I've been following you since back in the day when you were just trying to find your feet and struggling to get your pro license, and now you've climbed through the ranks and you've won a Pro Series race." And yeah, the amount of support that I'm feeling right now is incredible. And so I just want to thank every single one of you. The support itself in Swansea was electric. Like, it was absolutely insane. And so if you're one of those people that was out there supporting, thank you so, so much, because I really needed it. And it was incredible. I felt like a celebrity when I was there. Like, it was mad. So, wow. I've just got so much gratitude towards everyone who made it such a special weekend, because it's not just the athletes, we get to cross the finish line, but if it wasn't for the support that I get from everyone else, from you guys watching this, from people there in person, friends, family, coaches, everything, like, it wouldn't be possible. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. I really do appreciate it. And thanks to Ironman for putting on another mega race, and to all the volunteers that were out there. It was a scorcher, so fair play, because without you we wouldn't have a race as well. So I did say in the press conference and in a few interviews with people, it's not the reason why Swansea 70.3 is special, and the reason why any race in Wales is special, to be honest. I've always raced well in Wales. It's not the place, although it is stunning, although in those weather conditions, racing up on the Gower and through Mumbles and running along the seafront, like, it is stunning. But it's not the location, it's not the place, it's the people that make the race. It's the spectators, it's the volunteers, it's the other athletes. It's something about it. It's just really, really special. And that's why racing in Wales is so good, because the people are incredible. Like, the Welsh just know how to put on a race. The Welsh know how to support. They come out in force and they make it a really bloody good day. And so, yeah, I've just got to say thank you so much to everyone. So let's start from the beginning. So coming into the race, obviously I'm defending champ, which is really cool because I get all these media opportunities that I've not had before, part of the press conference, sat next to people like, Leon, Kieran, Sam and Christian. Like, that was really, really cool. And obviously the women on the panel as well. Like, that was really exciting. Had a few interviews, but I didn't go into the race feeling, I wasn't actually that nervous. I was almost like excited, and I almost didn't put pressure on myself, because I was like, well, I won here last year, but this year the field is so much more stacked. So I almost, not that I didn't think I could win. There's always like a slight percentage chance that you think, yeah, you know what, if I have an amazing day, I could. But I almost just thought a podium or a top 5 would be a really, really great result. And I know that I always race well when I don't put pressure on myself. I just go to enjoy it. And that's what this weekend was all about, actually. Just spending time with friends, athletes that you get to race with, and you build really good relationships with them, and it's just like you're just out there with your mates, basically. So it was a really cool build up to the race. Really enjoyed it. It was going to be a bit of a scorcher. The weather was, pretty spicy, but I knew that it's only a 70.3, so you kind of just, you just got to kind of manage and get through that, I guess, as best you can. In the past, I've not been great in the heat, but working with precision fuel and hydration, and kind of managing expectations, I guess, I've been able to sort of get better. So we find out race morning that we kind of knew it wasn't going to be a wetsuit swim, but we find out like we got a guarantee that it wouldn't be a wetsuit swim race morning, which for me is probably not great. Not that I'm a completely useless swimmer. I feel like my swimming's got a little bit worse in the last year, and I don't really know why, so I need to address that. But a wetsuit does just help me maintain contact with the group, and so not having a wetsuit definitely kind of like, yeah, those quicker, more experienced open water swimmers definitely get away, and that's sort of what happened. So race morning, feel fine, get in the water, do a bit of a warm up. The water's really warm, so I'm very glad we weren't wearing wetsuits because otherwise it would have been pretty dangerous. But I don't know, the first buoy is fairly close, and I made a bit of a tactical error here. I've got really good get out speed in the swim, but I know full well, and I've done this multiple times, if I use it, then I completely blow up a red line, and about 500 meters into the swim, I start going backwards very quickly. So I didn't want to use it. So I was kind of swimming at like maybe 75, 80% to get to that first buoy. The problem was that meant swimming the same speed as pretty much everyone else. So what I should have done is just commit, use that get out speed and just try and recover as best you can around the first buoy, because then you get clear water. Whereas what I did is I got to the first buoy when everyone was coming together, and oh my God, that was a wrestling match. That was insane. I felt like I was in a good place. I was like, Freddie Webb's right in front of me. You got Yeston over here. Josh Lewis is just up there. Ollie Turner. All these guys that I know are great swimmers. I want to be with them. And I was pretty much on Fred's feet. And then, bang, I got hit by someone on the right, hit by someone on the left. Someone pulled my leg. I was like, okay, well, that just happened. Not so good. And that kind of just, yeah, messed me up a little bit mentally as well. But I was just like so disorientated. And when you're fighting, you're not really like swimming. You're just kind of getting your elbows out and just hoping that at some point you'll get some clear water. And so that was really annoying. So I ended up going backwards a little bit. Then kind of solidified a bit of clear water. Managed to build my way back through. So ended up swimming through and ended up swimming with came through Will Crudge. Attached myself onto Tom Davis and Kurt McDonald. And I know those guys are good athletes, and James Teagle as well. So I was like, well, I'm in good company. Although I've been dropped by the front group, I've got myself back into a position where I feel like I can be competitive. I didn't know what the gap would be like, but I knew I was there or thereabouts, and it should be okay. And I knew the guys at the front were going to be drilling it because they wanted to get away. And you've got people like Sam Dicko, who... the guy's just an absolutely insane athlete, and he's such a good swimmer, so he's naturally going to get away. So I come out 45 seconds back, I believe. I think it's about 45 seconds. Come out with the boys that I've just mentioned, and I was like, right, well, that wasn't the best swim, but it's time to get to work. You then have a really long run to transition. Not the most comfortable run in the world, especially with bare feet, but I figured I didn't want to put shoes on because that's just a bit of a waste of time. And I figured I had quite a quick T1, but by the time I got on the bike, I think our group had lost another 15 seconds to the front. And I think that's because Sam Dicko, he's so good at short course, he just gets through transition so quickly, and everyone else is just gets spat. So when I got on the bike, it was like, oh, you're a minute down. I was like, oh man, I feel like I've caned it through T1, and they've just put 15 seconds into us. So that was a bit like, okay, we need to get a wriggle on here. So came out of T1, and I was with Christian Hogenhaug as well. And so I knew that I was with great firepower. I didn't know how he was going to approach this ride, whether he would sit in a little bit and then save himself for like the harder sections of the course, or whether he was just going to drill it and go full ham. He definitely didn't completely drill it straight away. So I was like, right, well, I kind of want to get to the front of this little group and start working hard. So that's what I did. Kind of halfway along the road to Mumbles, I get on the front and I just start working pretty hard. We pass I think it's Freddie Webb, Malachi Cashmore. I shout to Fred, I'm like, mate, just get on the train because we're getting to the front. So grab your ticket now, get on the back and let's go. Unfortunately, I didn't see him for the rest of the day. But at some point, I'm hoping he'll be able to jump on and get himself to the front of one of those races. But anyway, we ride pretty hard, and I knew that the first sort of 20, 30k is fairly technical, and I know the course really well. So I was like, I want to be at the front because I want to be able to dictate my line into the corners, the speed into the corners, everything else like that. Which I think definitely benefited the guys behind me. Like I chatted to Kurt McDonald after the race, and he was like, yeah, it was really handy having you in front because you knew how to approach the corners. So that was kind of my goal, is to bridge up to the front group as quick as we could and to maintain really good speed through the technical section. So I think that helped. And when we got to the little out and back section, I think we were maybe 20 seconds back from that group. I could see Andy Horsfall-Turner on the front. And I kind of thought, well, Andy knows these roads like the back of his hand, but I doubt anyone's going to be willing to help him out on the front because he knows the roads so well. One, I doubt he's going to allow someone to get on the front because he's going to be working quite hard. But two, people are kind of going to want to leave him on the front to dictate how much speed you can carry into the technical sections. So I kind of figured that we'd be able to catch them. I was in good company, Kurt, Christian. I knew Leon was hunting like crazy. I think he was maybe 20 seconds back at this point. I could see him coming, and I was like, oh god, here we go. We've got trouble. So we turned left onto this first loop section, and immediately I dropped my chain. And so I was like, oh, this is not so good. And it was such a potholey road, I wasn't confident in putting it back on as I was riding because I just knew I'd probably end up with a crash and that would not be good. So I stopped, got off my bike, put my chain back on. At that point, Kurt rides past, so I was like, that's really annoying. Get back on my bike, ride as hard as I can. Christian comes through, so I'm like, right, okay, this is not good, but I just need to get back into the groove. And we ride pretty hard as a group. We can see the group in front. We're closing pretty quickly. Leon then comes through like an absolute steam train, and that's when I was kind of like, right, I know we've got Christian Hogan in this group, I know we've got myself, I know we've got Leon, and I know we've got Kurt. Like, we got some real good firepower on the bike here. We're going to catch them. It's just a matter of when. So we get to the top of the first loop, and we catch them on the back roads, and immediately I'm like, cool, I'm at the back of this group. I can then chill for a little bit. That was probably a tactical error as well because Leon immediately went to the front, and I was like, I'm tired here. Like my normalized power is probably 365. About an hour in, I think I was at 365. So like it was pretty punchy, pretty bloody hard. And Leon just goes straight to the front, and I was like, wow, okay, this gives me flashbacks of Robert Callan doing this in Sweden the weekend before. So it's like, I know that I can't allow Leon to get away because he will get away, and I need to be up there and be in a fighting chance of keeping with him. So a few minutes later, I've kind of composed myself, I've got my fluids on. I then make my way to the front, so I pass the likes of like Kieran Linders, a few other boys, guys who were in that front group. Got Ollie Turner, Josh Lewis, Sam Dicko was there. Who else? A couple of other lads. Forget the names, sorry. And Leon actually has got a bit of a gap. And so we come around this bit technical section. I'm like, right, time to get my head down. This probably annoyed Leon quite a bit because he'd actually had an okay gap. And I just brought everyone back up to him. So, if I was stronger on the bike and if I played that more tactically, I potentially could have surged away harder and me and Leon could have got a gap and rode away. And that kind of was my plan going into this race is, if I can get away with Leon, that would be really cool. But I essentially just brought everyone back to him. And it's probably a bit annoying for him. But then on this next really fast section going into the second lap, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for us to drill it and get away from people. The problem is, as I was going to pass him and be like, mate, let's go, let's drop the hammer, he drops his chain. And I was like, oh man, that's not ideal. Because I'm like, well, I don't want to absolutely drill it past you now because I don't want to completely drop you because you've dropped your chain. Like, if I win just because Leon has dropped his chain, then that doesn't feel like a win to me. I need to win on equal playing field. And so I did ease up a little bit. The problem is then Christian and everyone else came through pretty hard, so I had to stay in the race, but I wanted to respect Leon in that he's just dropped his chain. I don't want him to be out of the race just because he's dropped his chain. So, it was kind of tough navigating that. Christian and Sam then put in a massive dig up the climb, and Sam comes past me and he just shouts, "Risk it for a biscuit," and he just goes off into the distance, and I was like, yeah, fair play, lad. That's a good shift. It's a good attitude as well. So they've got a bit of a gap. I think Linda's is up the road as well with them. And this is where I probably annoy everyone again, because I bring everyone back to them. So there's 3 of them up the road. I believe it's Linda's, Christian, and Sam Dicko. And I just bring everyone back. So I just ride like a solid tempo. Everyone comes with me and I'm like, yes, sorry guys, I've done it again. So yeah, that was probably a little bit frustrating for everyone again. I need to maybe stop doing that. I don't know. Yeah, I just need to get stronger on the bike so that I can actually break away rather than just bring everyone along with me. But anyway, so yeah, it's kind of myself, Leon, Christian, and Sam were kind of working on the front pretty nicely. Coming towards T2, Leon nearly gets hit by a car, so that was cool. There was a car on the course, which Leon actually had a little bit of a gap there, so I was a little bit frustrated that there was a car just right in front of him, so he was getting a bit of a draft. Managed to reel him in again. Leon nearly killed a dog, that happened. So coming down the last hill in towards T2, this little Jack Russell thing just ran out in front of the road. That nearly got chopped in half. But anyway, we're coming along the front towards T2. Sam's on the front. I'm in second. Leon's third. Who else is behind, I'm not too sure. It's like Christian, Kurt, Josh, Linda's, all of those boys. And it's a bit hectic coming into T2, so I don't really know what happened. I knew where T2 was, and I knew how to get there. However, Sam was in front of me, and he was following the lead motorbike. And I don't know if I didn't really see, so I don't know if it was the lead motorbike that sent Sam the wrong way, whether it was a marshal that sent Sam the wrong way, whatever. I don't actually know. If I was on the front, I probably would have gone straight to T2 the way I knew, but I guess when you're in that race mindset, you're not really thinking straight. And if someone's waving you a certain way, you just kind of go with it. So we ended up getting waved down the finishing chute. Rather than going into T2, we went down the finishing chute, so down where you're meant to be running for the finish line. And I immediately stop, and I say to one of I believe she was a volunteer or something, I was like, this is the wrong way. Like, we're meant to be going to T2. Can I get through? And she was like, no, this is the right way. And I was like, no, it's the wrong way, I'm telling you. So we then ended up having to like get up on the pavement. They opened up a bit of railing for us. We had to bunny hop off the pavement, get back on the road. So that was quite hectic, I'll be honest, and a little bit frustrating because then Sam got a bit of a gap into T2. It's not Sam's fault at all. I know that someone waved him down that way, whether it was the motorbike or marshal or whatever. So he wasn't meant to know. So it's like, I feel a bit guilty as well, because it's like I knew which way I needed to go, but when you're waved down somewhere and you're following other athletes, it's like you don't want to go against what they're doing, if that makes sense, like, which I should have done, but yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, we lost a bit of time coming into T2, completely hectic, but we got in. Yeah, and there's a video of me swearing in T2 on the Ironman Instagram page, which I probably should watch my language there. But I was just, in the heat of the moment, I was just super frustrated that happened. So anyway, come out of T2, Sam's probably got 45 seconds on me. Leon has probably got 20 seconds on me. And Josh Lewis has probably got 10 seconds on me. Immediately, the legs actually feel really good. So I pass Josh, and then I get on Leon's shoulder maybe after 400, 500 meters. And I'm on Leon's shoulder, and I'm like, God, this pace feels decent. Like, it feels not easy, but like easier than it should do. And I could see Sam in the distance, and my mindset was, well, that's the front of the race. So if I just get there, then I can dictate it, or I can stay with Sam. I knew Sam was like an incredible runner. I obviously know Leon is an incredible runner. So I didn't really know how to feel. Like, I gapped Leon a little bit, and I was like, oh God, have I made a mistake here? Have I gone too hard? Almost feels like almost felt like a little bit disrespectful to Leon, you know, like almost see him as like he's the master and I'm the student, and I was like, oh God, maybe I've made a mistake here. I've maybe poked the bear a little bit, and he might come back to bite me. But anyway, I just keep running like a strong tempo, get on Sam's shoulder, and my whole mindset there was, if there's a headwind back into town, I can just sit behind Sam. I know that's pretty cheeky, but yeah, it is what it is. So I figured that if there is a headwind, I sit behind Sam. If there's not, we just run shoulder to shoulder, and it's just who's got the better legs on the day. Luckily, there wasn't much of a headwind, so we do run shoulder to shoulder back in towards the halfway point, and I don't actually actively put in a dig. I think I just maintain the same speed. Or I think I did anyway. I'm not too sure. Maybe Sam will say different, but it felt like I maintained the same speed, and I wasn't really thinking much of Sam. I was just thinking of trying to stay cool as much as I could because it was quite warm out there. And then as I got to the turnaround point, that's when I had really good support from everyone. And actually it was Brett Halliwell who shouted, mate, you've got 10, 15 seconds. Sam looks like he's struggling. So that's when I was like, okay, sweet. I'm 100% at the front of this race. I've got some real estate behind me between me and Sam. I need to solidify this. And so I dig in a little bit. It's not really much of a surge. It's more of a just like maintain really strong tempo. And I knew that my legs would feel really crappy towards the end of this, but I just needed to break the elastic. So that's exactly what I did. I ran pretty hard for the rest of it, and I will be honest, that last 5k was horrific. When I get to the turnaround point, I shout to Sam Proctor, like, what's the gap between me and Leon? Because I can see he's running well. And I believe at that point it was 50 seconds, something like 45, 50 seconds. So it was a decent gap, but it wasn't enough for me to feel comfortable that he couldn't come back and beat me. So I needed to maintain really good pace. And wow, that last K was horrific. But I knew that Leon's obviously going for the Pro Series, whereas I'm not. I'm not going for the overall Pro Series. And for every second that you're behind the overall winner, you lose a point on the Pro Series rankings. So I was like, I need to slow down a little bit. I want to slow down a little bit so Leon gets as much points as possible. But I don't want to slow down too much to risk him, one, overtaking me, which I don't think he would do anyway. But two, me just like completely capitulating and not getting to the finish line. So it was one of those where it was quite hard to navigate. But once I got to the final corners, I did slow up. I needed to make sure that I kind of gave him as much time as possible. And I could have definitely given him a little bit more time. I think we did end up 45 seconds apart. So I could have waited a little bit longer, but I'll be honest, my legs were screaming at me. So I just needed to get to that finish line. And wow. Yeah, so Pro Series win, second win in Swansea. That means my PTO ranking has got to 34, which is really, really cool. Potentially might put me in a position where I could get a T100 wildcard slot, but I'm not too sure. It is what it is. And yeah, what an amazing day. Like, just incredible. And it felt so nice to share that podium with Leon. He's one of those guys who I train with him pretty much every day. We go away on these camps, and there's something about it, you know, when you have a successful day with your mate. It's just like, it was really quite a special feeling. And I know we're like, we are competitive, you know. I know he obviously wanted to win. I wanted to win. But at the end of the day, we're really good mates. And yeah, I think he was really happy to see me take the win. And that made me feel really good. Like, just like, yeah, it was really, really cool. It was really, really cool. And see Kieran cap off the podium, like, he had an amazing race there. So that was awesome. And to race Sam again, like, yeah, really enjoyed that. He's an amazing competitive athlete, and so that was really good fun. And everyone else on the start line as well. I think it was really, really cool to see. So fair play to everyone who raced. Fair play to all the age groupers as well who absolutely ripped it, because that was tough out there. Tough conditions for sure. What is the next plan? Is Ironman Leeds next weekend? Crazy idea, I know, but it's in the UK. It's easy to get to. It's stress-free. As stress-free as it can be, because Sam Laidlow's doing it, so quite stressful. But it should be good fun regardless. Going to be racing Kieran again, so that'd be cool. That'd be good fun. And it's just a chance for me to really give the Ironman another crack. So we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed will go well. We will see. But yeah, I'm on a bit of a high right now, obviously, from this result. But I need to bring myself down to earth pretty quickly, just because, yeah, it's one of those things. If you celebrate it for too long, there's that saying, if you sleep on a win, you wake up with a loss. So yes, celebrate it, but don't celebrate it too much. Bring yourself back to norm and just keep on keeping on, because yeah, you need to get back to work, basically. The season is still young, but it shows that I'm in a really good place. I've qualified for next year's 70.3 Worlds, which is really cool. And yeah, I'm really excited for the rest of this season. So thanks again so much to everyone who has supported on here on the channel, but also in person, and every other kind of support that I get from everyone. Thank you so much. Sponsors, teammates, coaches, everything. Thank you so much, because without you this wouldn't be possible. And I'll see you in the next video.